All right, it's time for another tale from the Dungeon Master, and we're heading back into the Hell on Glorian. Previously, the Apocalypse Squad had stopped at Minerva's Temple, where they had kind of a downtime session that let me write some new stories, and they began the long quest of finding out the monk's true name so that they can um, change the demonic runes in his flesh into angelic runes. So the next place they went to was back to the city under the waves. They head to the port town. They head down under the waves, and they find the Merfolk city, only to find no one there. And I mean no one. No, no citizens. No military. Not even the druid. So they head back to the place of the Eldritch Horror, and that's of course where the rift is. So Jardon closes the rift, but what they find out is that the Eldritch Horror is loose, and the whole rift to hell woke him back up, pissed him off, and gave him enough power to get loose again. So he quickly returns to the Salhugin, powering them up. And they go and they find out that they went and attacked the merfolk, and they either slaughter them or enslave them. So now they're fighting the people that were supposed to be their allies. So they retreat back to the city, trying to create some semblance of defense as they try to contact the druid. Unfortunately, the druid was also enslaved. In fact, they find out that he's at the head of this Salhugin merfolk army. So the Apocalypse Squad, they have no idea what they're supposed to do. I mean, they closed the rift, but the cause of this hellish situation is even more powerful than he ever was, because they realize that this Eldritch Horror, he's been vastly empowered by the gate to hell. So they're trying to figure, it's like, okay, well, what do we do next? And they realize that they're going to need to raise the city. So what Jardon decides to do is he's going to open up a rift, unleash hell upon the situation, and hope that they end up fighting the Salhugin and Merfolk. And luckily, he was right. Now, on the plus side, they've got an army to fight the enslaved Salhugin Merfolk and their druid ally. Unfortunately, that army is a bunch of demons, and their attack. So it's essentially become this like three-way brawl where everyone's fighting each other and nobody's winning. So the Apocalypse Squad, that they do the only thing that they can do at this point. They retreat. They head back into the surface, and they do their best to kind of create a sanctuary in the port town. So they call up the Minerva's temple, they call up Marcus's temple, and they try to get them there as quickly as possible so that they can contain the situation. And they all realize that they're going to have to raise the city to the ground. So with all the holy power that they can all muster, they just send it right down into that city under the sea. And they just raze it to the ground, killing the Southwigan army, the Merfolk, and they hope that they took down the Druid and the Eldritch Horror. Yep, that's right. Apocalypse Squad is lost. Now, the party had lost plenty of times before when we played D&D 3.5. But those losses were more to facilitate the story and to push the characters forward. This is the first time that, as the Apocalypse Squad, they've really failed. And when you're a squad dedicated to stopping the end of the world, failure is a lot worse than it was for the D&D team. So what they end up having to do is just create the sanctuary around the port town, use that as their teleportation point, and they hope that the worst is behind them. But I mean, this has ended up being a couple of years long chronicle, so the worst is still yet to come. But for now, that'll be it for this story. I know it's a dark place to end, but I mean, sometimes failure is the only thing that can happen in a situation. But until next time, take care.